Okay, we got a cheap 43-inch TV here that it may be a screen issue, it may be backlights, but we're going to have a play. Hiya. I'm just going to have a quick nose at this. It's only a VESTEL. Somebody bought a Sony TV off me yesterday because theirs has gone faulty. This is theirs. It's a 4-year-old VESTEL under the guise of Polaroid. Smart TV. It may be 4K. I'm not too sure. Possibly not. The one thing with the VESTEL Polaroids, and I don't know why it's always the Polaroids, because that doesn't make sense. But all the Polaroid Polaroid branded VESTELs had a screen problem, and even though it is a clockline screen issue, it can't be fixed. But this didn't seem to be it. They showed me yesterday. They bought this for 40 quid off Marketplace earlier on in the year. From a friend, and it worked perfectly for a few months, but now it's not working perfectly. I think it's a backlight issue, but the VESTEL backlights of late have been very good. I don't think it's a connection issue either, so let's just plug it in. They did give me a remote. I don't know if it's here. I don't think it is. Yes, it is. Thought I saw a strange picture then. I can't even see if we're in standby. Yeah, we are. We're in standby. I'll just show you. So just up there. Can you see the standby light? Oh, blimey. I don't know if you can see the standby light. Let me go down and up, baby. It's there. So yeah, you probably can now. Okay. The remote's been chewed up a bit, as you can see. But I think it still works. Switch it on. Yeah, it's coming on. Okay, I did see it come on yesterday. Let me shine a torch and see if I see anything. Yes, there we go. Hopefully you can see that. So at the moment the screen is looking fine. It's lights coming back on. It's looking like a backlight job. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think this is worth sticking a brand new set of backlights in. And I'm surprised, as I say, that they have failed after just 4 years. But maybe it's been one of those TVs that's been on 24 hours a day, that sort of thing. But I'm happy to dismantle it here and let's see what we find. Got to get the feet off first, and look, they've got one big screw rather than having a couple of small ones. Now, as you were, the Polaroid brand, it can be bought in several different places, but mainly Asda. Asda kind of got the license for the Polaroid brand to be made by VESTEL anyway. And it actually says on the back of the label here, if you have a look, just says there, produced for Asda Stores Limited, Leeds. But it does say made in Turkey. Again, I can't imagine these TVs being... Well, nothing's cheap in the world anymore, but I can't imagine these TVs being very expensive when this model came out 4 years ago. I would guess about, what, £170 to £250, around there. Knowing Asda, probably £170. They would have bought hundreds of thousands of them. I don't believe Asda, like most supermarkets, will ever give you more than a 1-year warranty, which again is a bit naughty. For those people that have been with the channel for a long time, they know what the law is. Even if you've only paid £170 for it. If it's failed after 2 years, even though Asda will say, well, it only comes with a 1-year warranty. It's about time this law got sorted out. We've got to stop having to complain and stamp our feet and go to store and go to citizens' advice. I mean, it may be argued that after 4 years there's a judge somewhere that will say that this should still be working under some sort of guarantee. But as we mentioned before, the parts inside here will be... I don't know where I've got this expression from, a bag of spanners, because that's not true. But it's cheap, you know. How much do you think a power supply costs VESTEL to make? Yes. I say I wouldn't spend out putting a new set of backlights on this. It's going to be interesting to find out how much a new set of backlights are for these. I would imagine £10–15. So maybe I should. Let me know in the comments. But as far as today is concerned, we're just going to find out what the culprit is and bring out ye old soldering iron. Again, for those people that have been with the channel for ages, they'll know that my mission was always to put a brand new set of backlights in. But that's when TVs still had a relatively good second-hand value. That second-hand value has now completely disappeared. Some of you may remember I did a live video last week where I dismantled a 43-inch, and it's here, and I just... I was going to say I'll see what screen is in it, but I've screwed it all back together, so I won't. Just in case it's the same screen, I could swap it over, because that's a... I'll check this as well. Is this an LG screen? It doesn't look like an LG T-Con, so no, I don't think so, no. But it could still be the same screen that's inside that other one. But that's a video for another day. Let me show you what the panel is here. It's one of them. It is, look, it's one of them. Now, has anybody noticed it yet? I kept quiet. But one of those things now where I should wrap the video up and do a part 2 and then wait to see in your comments. But I've spotted the fault already. It's one of them. That's the capacitor on the backlights. It does happen sometimes. So that means the screen doesn't have to come out. Yippee! I thought it was weird how sometimes the backlights would come on and go off within a few seconds. And that is always the culprit when that happens. So it's not needing a new set of backlights. And I did say I was surprised about that. It's a capacitor. A capacitor. Let's see what value it is. My goodness, look at the backlight wires. I mean, I know there's very little current going through them, but can you see? Look how thin they are. I mean, even your Christmas lights in 1974 had, I won't say safer wiring, but better quality. I mean, they'll be using thicker wires for the speakers. There we go, look. There's the speaker wire. Sorry, can you see? No, sorry. There's the speaker wire. 3 times as thick as the backlight cable. Hilarious. So it looks like this TV could be fixed for a 10p capacitor. I'm going to stick my goggles on. Let's see what value we're looking at here. Blimey, I can't... There's no value on that capacitor. Oh, yes, there is. Sorry. 160 volt. And 47 microfarads. I don't know if you can see that very faint writing there. You're probably not going to be able to. I've just turned around and had a look at my stack of one spares when it comes to VESTELs, and look what I found. But I may have took some parts off this. Let's have a look at the 23 number, 23561201. You're joking. Well, I hope I've not taken any parts off this, but it's exactly the same power supply, and it was just behind me on a shelf. I'm afraid that happens very rarely. It used to happen ages ago, but for that sort of thing to happen, just to have the power supply literally 2 foot behind me, if this one works. Why swap caps when you can swap power supply? I wonder what the F stands for. I know what it stands for on the other board. And who would Scrabble F? Scrabble? Scribble. Who would scribble F? Okay. I'm looking for a nice quick repair this morning because I've got to go out and do some jobs this afternoon. Right, switching on. Don't know what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Nothing. We've got a standby light. Let me see if this brings it on. Well, didn't see a logo. Did I plug them back in? Well, I can see a picture, but I've still got no backlights. Did I plug that? Yeah, I did plug the backlights back in. Well, that is rather strange, don't you think? There's me getting all excited. But there's still a picture. I can see the no signal thing up there. How can that be? How can that be? It's come on now. Let's just see how long they stay on for. There is a chance the main board was in its fault stage still. Switch off and switch on again. Let's give it this HDMI and see if it causes any issues. Light's coming back on. These backlights are flashing. Look. Do you think this still could be a problem? I think so. See if I can get to the settings in time and turn the backlights down. Settings, picture. Oh, it's in dynamic, but it still shouldn't be flashing. Oh, whatever I did, I turned it off. Okay, I'm going to switch it to standby. See if the backlights come back on. Now, there was a flash, but they're not coming back on. Okay, so we're still no lights coming on. Still no further forward, are we? I mean, it was an amazing coincidence that I had the correct power supply here. I don't think that's ever happened before. Let's get a test set of backlights out. I'm just tinning these to fit on the set of test backlights. That one is plus. That's minus, or neutral, or negative, or negatory. Anyway. I'm just going to plug the backlights, the temporary set of backlights, into here. I've got wires on show there, so I'm just making sure they're as safe as I want them to be. Right, let's plug in. I'm not getting anything, but I don't know if we're still in standby. Ah, it's coming on now. Ooh, better be careful moving this because everything's looped around each other and those wires are live. But as you can see, the temporary set of backlights have come on. Just want to test this remote again. I think this remote does work. Yeah, off. And back on. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if you could tell that they were lit up or not. but they're lit up in the fine, so obviously we've got a DUF backlight as well as a DUF capacitor. Well, we can keep this board in here, but I'm afraid I will have to do a part 2, because I've now, what time is it? Yes. I'm going to have to go out and I've got a couple of jobs that I have to do this afternoon. They're only local jobs, but they are jobs that need doing. So anyway, I'm going to go out and do those. We've replaced the power supply. We know that the problem is connected to a backlight strip. Just one LED somewhere will be messing us around. So I'll have a look at that in, well, it'll be later on this afternoon.